My name is Elisa Garza-Cote, and my innovative idea is called the Linen Partner. What problem am I trying to solve with my innovative idea? So I'm seeking to solve poor linen quality and high labor costs. I think back to my experience in the hospitality field and working in housekeeping, and things that come to mind right away is poor linen quality and high labor costs. With poor linen quality, it could be stains, it could be imperfections like tears, cuts, burns. There's also incorrect folds, and those incorrect folds could lead to affecting the overall presentation. Because if you do not fold a piece of linen correctly, it's going to go on the bed and it could potentially be wrinkly. So if a guest walks into a room and they see a wrinkly bed, they're going to assume that there wasn't care put into cleaning the room. There's also employee oversight and carelessness. Depending on the environment and the lighting, an employee could easily look over a stain or an imperfection. And there's also carelessness. Some employees just do not care as much as others. So that is just a problem that you run into really in any industry. When it comes to high labor costs in laundry facilities, folding linen overall is a very labor intensive task. At times, it's going to require 2 to 3 people to fold one piece of linen. Some linen is very heavy, like a deco sheet that goes on top of a bed. You can't fold it with just one person. So you're always going to need a lot of labor hours when it comes to laundering linen. Beyond hotels and the hospitality industry, you also see this in medical facilities where they launder linen from hospitals, senior centers, manufacturers, the ones who actually manufacture the linen, they're going to have to fold linen on a regular basis in order to ship it. Private clubs like tennis clubs and restaurants could be 5-star restaurants that have banquet linen. So this is a problem that you can see across so many industries, and that is why I came up with my innovative idea, the Linen Partner. My problem leads me to 2 assumptions. One being that linen quality is crucial to industries. In certain industries, such as the hospitality, like hotels, restaurants, high quality linen is what makes a statement for these businesses. And in addition, labor is always going to be an issue. It's difficult to find long-term employees today, and this is just across the country. And laundering linen is labor intensive. You're always going to need multiple employees to launder linen. How did I validate this? I actually got in-depth insight from housekeeping employees. I've talked to laundry attendants who handle linen on a regular basis, and I was actually able to see for myself issues that they see on a daily basis. And having these types of interviews, I didn't seem to change my problem because it was pretty clear on what the problem is they're facing each day. The common issues that we see with laundering linen has led me to come up with a solution and innovation that I call the Linen Partner. So you're probably wondering, what is the Linen Partner? So the Linen Partner is a machine similar to a mangler that a lot of laundering facilities use. Manglers usually just press linen, but the Linen Partner is a screening detection machine that can process, press, and pre-fold linen. I would call it a mangler with superpowers. So how does it solve the problem? That brings me to my value proposition statement. The Linen Partner machine provides seamless quality control and folding assistance to businesses that specialize in laundering linen. The Linen Partner creates value based on how many benefits there are going to be for industries. Number 1 would be the ease of use. It's going to be a very easy machine to use. It's going to be seamless. You'll just place the linen through, it will do the detection, and it will press it and then start folding. There's not much more to it. Having something like this could really be a game changer to any industry. I would say more specifically in hotels just because the amount of linen they have each day, but it would be an extremely valuable machine to have. I did some stakeholder interviews with people of many different industries such as hospitality, medical, personal equipment, restaurants, and senior centers. And I have to say the one thing that I would change with my innovation would be a black light system where it would disinfect the linen as it goes through, because this would make it a more friendly machine for, say, medical or senior center industries, just because knowing that the linen is disinfected, it makes it more valuable. So you're probably wondering, what are there alternative solutions out there instead of the linen partner? And how do I know about the experience with these solutions? So working in a housekeeping department, I know a lot about laundry services and some of the other solutions there could be versus a machine like this. So number one would be a high efficiency washer and dryer. The thing with this is it's very expensive and it's time consuming. You're going to have to wait for the loads, and they take a lot longer than processing a piece of linen through the linen partner. And then getting something like this approved through CapEx would take time as well. You're going to have to prove to, your board or the stakeholders of a business to approve an expensive machine like this. There's also specialized stain removers and detergents. This is just going to be an extra expense, monthly to a business, and they may not even work. They could also destroy linen depending on how caustic they are, and it's going to require your employees to wear PPE. In addition, there's better staff training that you could do to be better about, laundering linen, doing the specific load types or pre-treating linen correctly, even folding them correctly, but that's increased labor as well, which is also more costly. You could outsource linen, but that's very expensive and there's less quality control. You're not going to see what they're doing. You're just going to receive that linen and accept it as it is. And then lastly, there's systematic inspection process, which also is costly when it comes to labor because you're going to have more of a system approach when inspecting linen, which is going to take more employees. So when I think about the linen partner, it's not necessarily going to be cost saving. It will be an expensive investment, but it will be worth it in the long run. But as far as ease of use, it is going to be very high. So I would probably put the linen partner about right here when you look at our problem space. So why do customers prefer the linen partner over these alternative solutions? I would say it's because of the seamless use, and it simplifies the inspection process. You're not going to need multiple employees to overlook the linen, and it's going to decrease chemical usage across the board and ironing, and it's going to limit the folding for staff. And I get my evidence based on my experience in housekeeping and seeing what they do on a day-to-day basis. Rewash, the presentation of the linen when it goes on the bed. I see this every day and I can see, what the alternative solutions are versus having something like the linen partner. So who's going to be a customer for the linen partner? There's going to be numerous customers across numerous industries. So there's going to be hotels, which I think is going to be the number one customer. There's going to be hospitals, there's going to be senior centers, linen management facilities, restaurants, even manufacturers who send out linen each day, and customer segment, industry and company size based on the linen partner being specific to certain types of businesses. So it has to be, a specific industry and a specific company size. I wouldn't say that it would be for smaller businesses. And then if you think of customer archetype, it would most likely be the caregiver service. And I say this because this type of product and the type of customers that are buying this product are always providing a service to customers. So for a hotel, you're providing a hotel for them to stay. And then for hospitals, you're also providing services to them as well. And it's the same for restaurants. It's all service industries. And that's why I believe it would be the caregiver service archetype. Based on the value of the linen partner and the type of industries that I believe would have use for it, I feel that a price that customers are willing to pay would be in the range of $20,000 to $50,000, depending on the size of the business. And I know this because working in the hospitality industry, specifically hotels, we pay a lot for just washers and dryers. It could be upwards of $12,000 up to $50,000. So I know that for something like this that could decrease labor, they would pay upwards of $50,000 if it will save them money in the long run. And after my research, I feel like my target customers stayed the same, being the hotel industry, because they could have so much use out of it. And I feel like it would definitely be a game changer, not only with labor, but also with providing more quality linen. If I was to position this for my potential customer, I would definitely emphasize the detection and the black light system because it's going to limit the oversight that you see, and it's also going to sanitize linen, which could be a great way to reel in your customer. Also, the press and fold features would be something that would limit ironing, and it would have great quality linen at the end, which would improve the presentation of the room when you place the linen in there. And how would I reach my customers? I would start by phone. I do cold calls to people in the industry that I already know that work at hotels. And then I'd follow with email and social media because I feel like these channels are the most popular nowadays. Next, and most importantly, would be capital and timeline. So if I'm thinking about the necessary capital and everything that's going to go into bringing my linen partner to the market, I'm going to think of research, development, the labor, and the materials to actually bring it forefront. I would estimate it to be about $320,000. And to fund this, I'm thinking crowdfunding, grants, and lastly, business loans if I would have to. As far as a timeline from start to finish, I believe it'd take about 1 year to develop this. I got to do some more research and make sure that I've investigated all areas of this. The patent would take about 2 to 5 years to have approved, and then some more market research would take about 6 months or so, and to be able to find the funds would also take another 6 months. And then manufacturing and the entrance into the market, I would estimate about a year. So I would say in total, it'd be roughly about 6 years from start to finish. Intellectual property and market security. So how am I going to protect the linen partner? I'm going to start with a patent to make sure that I can protect the actual machine and the invention. And then I'll do a trademark for the name of the linen partner to make sure that I don't have any other competitors coming out with something with the same name. As far as marketing, I'm going to start with existing business connections, people that I know that work in the industry, and maybe any local competitors around here from the hotel that I work at now. So I would start with cold calls, and then I'd invite hotel leaders to factories to see the linen partner in action. Obviously, a machine like this is going to be large, so I can't bring it to them, so they're going to have to come to me. And then I'd follow it with aggressive advertising to the hospitality industries through social media, commercials, and even email blasts. After stakeholder interviews, I did learn a few things, and the first and most important, I think, would be to have an open mind and listening to the opinions of others, because you're going to come up with some great ideas. Don't be closed off and, have a closed mindset. One good thing that I learned was safety. I did not consider safety. So that's definitely something I'm going to have to implement. Using, any type of machine is going to require safety measures. In addition, what I did learn from another stakeholder interview is considering the space. Well, certain businesses have the space to have a linen partner like this. So just having these interviews, I came up with a couple more realms that I'll need to investigate. And I don't feel that I have really any more questions remaining, but I do know that I need to do some more research to make sure that I know exactly what I want to provide with the linen partner. And that brings me to the end of my presentation.